Well, Captain Sunday Adoba joins us now. He's a retired military officer to talk us through the operations and activities about fighting terrorism. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
Well, we do know that clearly, if we introduce some sort of technology in tackling or discovering the IEDs, that will go a long way in ensuring that at least we reduce this to the barest minimum, if not completely eradicate it. What can you tell us about how we're approaching the fight against terrorism now and the kind of impacts that will make?
Well, I will restrict my comments on the Northeast, and I sincerely wish to state that the time lag given by Mr. President, which passed some few days ago, actually propelled the men into acting. And we are not there yet, but I believe that it gave them the opportunity to reassess their needs, their approach to the situation. And I sincerely believe that if they go back fully into the operation, they will have a better result, quicker, and less damage to the society and the system.
When you talk about needs, perhaps let's start from needs. If we can address that, perhaps the troops should be able to record more success than what it has recorded so far.
Yes, I still believe that they still need a lot of equipment. Like I said previously, the Air Force needs a lot of platform, which is vital to any fight on insurgency. What the Air Force has today is still not enough. And I also believe that the Defense Intelligence Agency needs more sophisticated equipment to be able to pinpoint where these people are, feed the operational troops with this necessary information to achieve immediate results. They need effective communication between them and these people. Command and control. If there are good UAVs, satellites for the defense intelligence, I am 100% sure we will have less casualties, we will have more effective operational results.
Give us some insight into the operations of Boko Haram, because I read you talking about them using some kind of weapons with telescopic sights to target vehicles of the military.
Yeah, the Boko Haram as a force or an outfit came into this operation well prepared. Prepared in the sense that they had their men trained both in Mali, in Somalia, and they have snipers. And we have never thought of having a special outfit of snipers, even though we train this specialized group. But the army never had a separate group of snipers as a squad to confront its enemies. But Boko Haram had this, and they utilized it to the fullest effect. One, they target our commanders on APCs, armor tanks, or vehicles. They target the drivers, they target the gunners, and they target the tires of most of these vehicles. And at the end of the day, they succeed in effecting damages on our men and equipment, which resulted in a lot of psychological damage to the troops, because they never knew this group existed. So the arrival on the scene of these snipers had a telling effect on our own psyche.
Well, reading some of the articles that you've got, you talk about them having these special AA squads that they either use battery or generators. How did you come to that conclusion?
Yes, I remember during the attack on 333 and the Air Force base in Maiduguri, they came in, that was the first time they came into the scene with this system. They came in with their AA, mounted on their four wheels, and then had a generator and batteries. And the moment they energized this gun, the gun fires on its own with loads upon loads upon loads of ammunition, chained links, and they kept on firing for hours. So a lot of both the military, the civilians within the area were completely taken aback. It took a hell of a time to regroup and start chasing these people out of Maiduguri, and that had been the trend.
Yeah, but how would you even say that, Boko Haram got this far? What happened to the Nigerian army in the very first instance?
Yes, because this, I think, from the word go, even though we know that as the largest, most populated country in Africa, we should have anticipated that with the Libya crisis, Sudan, Central African Republic, Mali, name them, that this thing is going to spill over into our own environment. We never thought of that. We never took the pains to police our borders. And when these little things started and crept into our society, it was difficult for us to cope. I think that was the effect that we never anticipated.
But these are heavy artillery we're talking about. How did they move them into the country?
Well, like I keep on saying, we have a very porous borders. And because of the nature of our patriotism, we have always lagged behind when it comes to protecting what is ours. To date, the Chad Basin is as porous as any other part of the Nigerian border. You move in and move out. And don't forget that for a period of time, Boko Haram were smart enough. They had a better strategic idea about what they wanted by cornering the entire northeast zone, the entire border, from Mombar, which is Damasak, to Gubio, to Abadam, to Kukawa. They went again through Mongono, Mate, Gambolongala, Kalambalge, right to Goza, and then Mubi.
It looks like they had a map.
In entire, Madagali. All those areas were entirely annexed by Boko Haram. So what are we talking about access into the country? They had absolute control. They could move in and move out. So that gave them that opportunity to move in with anything they wanted. And also, they had some telling effect on us as regards the operations. They had this surprise element. Don't forget that when you are fighting a terrorist, you are practically fighting your entire people because you don't know who the enemy is. And they had this advantage. And also, there are times that people do not like our own approach to the operation, which you see at times people now feeling, who are these foreigners? And it helped in actually increasing the tempo of operations of Boko Haram.
When you talk about the Chad Basin area, what comes to mind is, now you're talking about our needs.
Yes.
Gunship is needed, or ships are needed in that fight.
We need gunboats.
As well as gunboats.
Yes.
Have we started procurement of such?
I don't really know, but I know that in the Niger Delta, we have a lot of them. And these are the sort of things we need in the Chad Basin, because they have absolute control of the waterways. And not until we have this and start checkmating them, we'll find it difficult to say we have arrived.
What are the threats, sorry Suleiman, what are the threats do you think that we should be looking at now? Yes, we have terrorism. Is this the worst that can happen?